As ESPN does every single year, they do their ESPN rank, where they rank the top 100 NBA players. And frankly, if I can be honest for just a couple seconds, this list is just rage bait. It really is all it is. Every single year, this thing is just made to get people upset, to rile people up, to have you argue the dumbest arguments about how player X is not he is much more than 4 spots better than player Y, and how can you have him there but him there, and things like that. So let's join the discourse, everybody.
Become one of them.
Let's do it.
Let's jump feet
Let's
first
go.
in.
Let's do it. Let's go in the deep
unless
end.
they say good things about your team, then it's accurate.
Yeah, then it's accurate. Then it's gospel at that point.
I mean, when you have 3 in the top 30 like the Thunder, all
That's
of a sudden,
right.
Yeah.
love this.
We should do that exercise as well as trying to figure out who has the most. I believe I heard the Timberwolves have 5 or 6.
Okay.
I want to say the Thunder as well have about 5 or 6. I think the Magic have about 5 or 6 as well. I think 5.
This is why I like the Ringers version of this, because they'll let you sort it by position and team and all sorts of great stuff.
Yeah, this ESPN one is a little bit of a mess because in true ESPN.com fashion, they try and get as many clicks as possible. They do like, here is number 100 through 74, and then 74 through 50.
They
and
put it all out at different.
Come on, guys. Like, I'm not going to do a rollout of this all week.
Nope.
Here we are on Wednesday. Let's see. So let's start off with where some former Kings go, and it should be noted here, just for anybody curious, the panel that ranks this is made up of 150 reporters, editors, producers, and analysts. They were all asked to rank players based on their predicted contributions, quality and quantity. I don't know what quantity would have to do for the 25-26 season only. So this is meant to be a meant to be a snapshot real quick of what they think. This is a projection. This is not a as of today where these guys stand.
Super small note, they don't count injured players for the season.
Okay, good to know. Like if you're injured to start, so like Kyrie Irving maybe isn't on this list.
Here's the ones they exclude.
Okay,
Tatum,
perfect.
Halliburton, Lillard, Kyrie, DeJounte Murray, Fred VanVleet.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's
Fred
actually
VanVleet.
that's
Okay.
really good to know because there are some players on here though who are still like, what are you? Because we don't know yet because of injuries.
Yeah, right. And the top 10 list might look a little bit funny without, you said, so Tatum's not in there.
No Tatum, no
Tyrese
Tyrese.
might not be in there.
No
as well.
Lillard, Kyrie,
Kyrie
DeJounte Murray, or Fred VanVleet.
So it sounds like more of like maybe the top 25 might look a little bit skewed with Fred VanVleet. I don't think is included in the top 25, but those other guys are all probably within the top 25.
Those are the players that would have made the top 100 that they're not counting.
Gotcha.
Varying degrees.
Good to know.
Heard. So, yes, again, 150 reporters, editors, producers, and analysts, all I assume work for ESPN, contributed to this. And again, this is a prediction. This is based off of where their predicted contributions is the exact wording that they use for this ESPN.com article. And let's start off with the first former King that I can find. And something tells me that this probably created a decent bit of controversy for those who, I guess, participate in NBA psycho behavior. At number 87 is Jonas Valanciunas, which is just not a name that I would have expected to see on this list in general. Now, Jonas was a really high quality backup center. Maybe I would maybe give him the award of being like a top 3 backup center in the NBA, 100%. And I guess maybe that is truly just what this ranking is giving him. Again, number 87. He's in between, which is kind of crazy. Zach Edey at number 88, 86 Bradley Beal, 85 Jaden Ivey. So that's the kind of territory that they have Jonas Valanciunas in. Of course, unfortunately for us here in Sacramento, and Jonas being in this top 100 list kind of does really put into perspective maybe how bad of a move this was. Just the Kings doing this essentially for trade, or for salary purposes. Is the Kings trading Jonas Valanciunas in order to essentially get Dario Saric? It doesn't really make any sense. It didn't make any sense at the time. But I even want to make sure I'm not missing any other, small trade exceptions or anything like that might have been included. I'm looking at the NBA.com report, and it is just straight up Nuggets receive Jonas Valanciunas, Kings receive Dario Saric. So there you go. Jonas Valanciunas, number 87 on the ESPN Rank 100 list. Dario Saric, not listed. So there you go. That's how that trade, I guess you can say, is viewed from the outside perspective.
If they did a top 300, he would not make it.
That honest, he would be fringe. He would be fringe for sure.
But it's a surprise to you guys that Valanciunas is even on this list. And I was listening to the morning show too, and they agreed. Like they had said the same thing.
I mean, it's a surprise in the sense of I just wouldn't have. It's just not a name that would have came to my mind, but seeing him on the list isn't crazy. I mean, because like I said, I think he is a top tier backup center in the league. This is also, again, a projection. He's on the Nuggets this season. Being Nikola Jokic's backup, and for him to be Nikola Jokic's backup. That's a great point
right there.
I really believe in the Nuggets a lot. And a big reason is because of Jonas Valanciunas. I think that's like the perfect backup to get. I mean, legitimately, the backups for, and Kyle, you might be able to fill me in even better. The backups for Jokic these past couple years has literally been DeAndre Jordan. They tried DeMarcus Cousins at one point to be his backup. Zeke Naji is just somebody who never panned out for them.
They drafted De'Ron Holmes, who never played because he tore his Achilles. And so they were stuck with DeAndre Jordan again.
And they really never had a 4 that could scoot over to they had Aaron Gordon, I guess.
They were putting Hunter Tyson and Aaron Gordon as their front court at points.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Hunter Tyson?
Yes.
That's a generic name. That is not an actual player. So there you go. I think Jonas Valanciunas definitely can be a really big piece for that team. So it's surprising just of
projection.
100%.
And I was going to add to that too, projection, because the first thing, being down there in Tennessee and covering a little bit of the Grizzlies from afar, they're obviously super excited about Zach Edey because why would you be? He's your guy. He's supposed to be the guy, but he's dealt with so many injuries that first year, and he's a bigger guy, and they're worried about the ankles a little bit with him. Yeah. But the projection is like he has to be the guy. So of course he's going to be on this list, probably higher than what you can say his actual body of work has been yet. But he's supposed to be this year the at least third best player on the team. So they're assuming like he's going to do that. But he's a big guy. He's got to figure out the ankles, because that's a thing they've been trying to fix down there, so he can be healthy throughout the season.
Yep, and Zach Edey, number 88 on this list, and again sandwiched Jonas Valanciunas sandwiched right in between Zach Edey and Bradley Beal. Potential king on the list, Jonathan Kuminga falls in at number 83, sandwiched between Tobias Harris and Norman Powell. My guy Norman Powell. So that's again, if the Kings do make the addition of one Jonathan Kuminga, you could be adding a top 100 player to your team. We talked about a good bit yesterday and the day before about Kuminga's value to this team just as a young piece, but him being, it's not even just his future potential. It is the player that he is now. Of course, this is projecting a little bit, but Jonathan Kuminga, I would hope, regardless of what team he's on next year, Jonathan Kuminga he should definitely be in a top 100 list if he is going to be the player that he has shown and he has talked about being here this offseason. So Jonathan Kuminga falls at number 83, and then we get to our first actual king in this list at number 80, which is interesting. I wonder how people feel about number 80 for one DeMar DeRozan. Sandwiched in between 81, Andrew Nembhard, who had a fantastic postseason, and Onyeka Okongwu, center for the Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks have a lot of promise this year. A lot of people very high on Atlanta. This is where I will do my first, what is this guy doing on this portion of the list? Toumani Camara. Kyle, what do we do? Toumani Camara at number 78. I love me some stray NBA random NBA Twitter guy. Toumani Camara at number 78 is crazy. He's a great defender, like a great defender.
That is,
I'm not putting him at number 78.
That is all defensive second teamer Toumani Camara you're talking about.
Can I get Toumani Camara numbers, please, from last year?
What's the projection here?
Because it's a lot of projection.
That's what I'm saying. Is it all projection?
Because I'm not. Toumani Camara had to have been under 7 points a game.
Toumani Camara was 11.3 points per game.
Really?
Shocked.
37% on 4.6 threes per game. 45% from the field.
Shout out to Toumani Camara, who on the Blazers, as he's one of these guys who has kind of risen through the smoke of the Blazers, who have been on fire for the past 6 years or so, a guy that they literally just kind of found and has been a really good role player for them. 11 points a game, incredible.
I didn't know that.
Also 6 rebounds per game. I also think the Blazers are going to be really good this year.
I think they're going to be fun. I think they're finally going to be not like a 12 seed, 11, 12 seed. 78 feels crazy. Like 2 spots higher than DeMar DeRozan. Look, we have our beefs with DeMar DeRozan.
He fell, though, a lot this year.
That's a really good point.
That's the thing that I was shocked with.
I'd be interested to see
like 30-something spots?
Let's see here.
It was big. It was a big drop.
Last year, he was 45.
So that's a big drop.
That is huge. I mean, that is a massive – that's crazy for him to drop from 45 to 80. He had a good season last year. Definitely didn't look like he lost a step in terms of like his game. What DeMar DeRozan does, he did not seem any different from that perspective of things.
12 straight season at 20 points or more.
Model of consistency, and he was well above that 20 points.
Yeah, I'm like he's a consistent play. He's been a consistent, and he's 36 years old. Like, but he's not dropped.
No. And he's got a huge opportunity. Like De'Aaron Fox is gone. It's not like he's got more of a runway this year to look better.
This is where I start looking at, like, I'm starting to learn here real quickly.
The Kings
this
bias?
is where they see Kings and they automatically go, oh, he's dropping this many spots. I'm dead serious.
I think so. No, I 100% think that is part of it, is that last year there was a level of excitement of, hey, the Kings are building up towards something. They add DeMar DeRozan. He can maybe push them another level. De'Aaron Fox is now gone. DeMar DeRozan stayed the same. They say, it's just not as exciting to talk about anymore, so he must just be a worse player now. Absolutely
that's
crazy.
A lot to drop. That's my only point.
For reference, LaMelo Ball dropped 13 spots last year. That's the closest plunge I can find to DeRozan.
Do we not know about something? Does he have some freak injury?
Crazy.
That's weird.
So here's the write-up from Anthony Slater in the article on DeMar DeRozan. He says, last March, on a signature move in the mid-range, DeMar DeRozan became only the 27th player in NBA history to score over 25,000 career points. He is entering his 17th season. In his 16th season, he averaged 22.2 points per game, his 12th consecutive season of averaging 20 points or more per game. DeRozan appeared in 77 games. This is the 12th time in his career that he has played at least 74 games, which is incredible. DeRozan, 36, remains a highly productive and durable, but the defensive question marks and flawed supporting cast have kept him from the biggest stage since his Toronto days. DeRozan has only appeared in a total of 5 playoff games since 2019, which was kind of a crazy stat. But nonetheless, nowhere in there does it say DeMar DeRozan deteriorated as a player.
That's what I'm saying. So it's his fault then, because that's specifically his fault. Like, he's the only one making teams go to the playoff. Like, come on.
Okay, I found a funnier one. So DeMar DeRozan fell 35 spots from last year to this year in the rankings. Zion Williamson fell 34.
This year?
From last year to this year. Only 34 spots.
They must not know about Skinny Zion. That's crazy. I wonder how that would look. Wonder how that would look post Skinny Zion pictures.
I thought he'd be a little more higher.
That's an interesting one for sure. Let's see here, Kyle. I have on here Zach LaVine, but I don't see where he is
72
in the list. Is that right?
He is 72.
72. Yes, I'm looking at it now. Zach LaVine, number 72 on the list. Sandwiched in between number 74, Jabari Smith, number 73, Derek Lively, and number 71, Kobe White, former teammate of Zach LaVine, and number 70, Michael Porter Jr. So we talked about yesterday how the Nuggets were at one point looking for a potential Michael Porter Jr. for Zach LaVine swap.
Also somehow 6 spots below Denny Advia.
Below Denny Advia, so they have Denny at 66. Well, Kyle, did you write this? This is a lot of Blazer fandom happening in here.
That Tamani Kamara and Denny Advia is a better front court than Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan.
That is what they are projecting.
Which the Kings are paying $74 million for.
I don't even think Tamani Kamara makes like $740,000 in his contract. So that's absolutely insane. But yeah, I mean, again, that is another one. Denny Advia last year unranked and moves up to number 66.
Are you cool with you guys, like, and I know this is a very, very young player compared to DeMar DeRozan, the age difference between the two. Are you cool with DeRozan being below LaVine?
That's interesting.
Right? If you're going to put your two teammates together.
Yeah, that is really interesting. That's a really good question. For what it's worth, Zach LaVine last year ranked 74. He is now 72. I mean, yesterday I kind of talked about the impact thing where it just felt like DeMar DeRozan was more impactful than Zach LaVine every single night. But it's tough because Zach LaVine's like 30 and he is a ridiculous talent.
Sure.
And so
he's younger. He's, at this point of his career, a little more athletic than if you're looking at DeRozan that's 36. And
to your point, Kayla, I think he will contribute more this year if that's what the rankings are.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, like LaVine has been in his past like a 25-plus point per game scorer. DeRozan can't do that anymore. LaVine could do it. Who knows if he will do it? But I guess it's fair. But again, to your point of like them being on the same team and watching it every night, I kind of feel like, again, DeMar DeRozan was more impactful. Sure. I don't know if that means he's a better player, but if I were to make a list, I probably would have put I probably would have, at least as of last year, put DeRozan higher. But it's definitely a good question, and I wonder how much of that is just the national spotlight on it. It's just easy to say 36-year-old on his way down, Zach LaVine on the same team. To that point, actually, DeRozan moves down 34 spots. LaVine only moves down 2. And yet Zach LaVine had very strange year. He was on fire. I mean, the dude shot incredibly from 3, but on the same team should have a similar, or if not lesser, amount of impact.
To your point, Kayla, the Ringer does this list and updates it every few months. They have DeRozan 67 and LaVine 68.
Yes. Oh, okay. Look at them.
That's what they should do. Frankly, like that's what it should be. Those two are pretty much the same. The write-up from Anthony Slater on Zach LaVine after missing 58 games 2 seasons ago because of nagging foot issues, which is actually a really good point because LaVine was just a straight-up do not trade for him because he's an injury risk on top of his insane contract. He played a lot last year. LaVine resurrected his value with three scorching. That's a really weird way of phrasing that. With 3 scorching, healthy months to open last season.
Healthy.
Yeah. The Bulls leveraged that into a deadline deal, roping LaVine's large contract into the De'Aaron Fox 3-team deal, sending LaVine to Sacramento. He has 2 years, $96.4 million left on his deal. He has his defensive flaws and health question marks, but when he is able to play to his full potential, he's explosive. In 72 games last season, split between 2 different teams, he averaged 23.3 points on 51% shooting, making 44% of his on a high volume of threes. His 239 makes from deep were 8th most in the NBA. Zach LaVine falling at number 72 in this ESPN Rank 100 list. Let's see here. His projection. Oh, that's interesting. I might have to pull up DeRozan's. They do have like your stat projections for the season. Zach LaVine's stat projection is 23 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, which is a worse season overall than he had last year. Pretty much across the board.
They're like, we dropped 2 spots. We got to drop the stats.
Yeah, very interesting. Oh, they do give a signature stat as well. This is interesting. He is one of 4 players, Nikola Jokic, Kevin Durant, and Karl Anthony Towns being the others, to average 20 points while shooting 50% from the field and 40% on threes. What is interesting is he's the only guard of that list, Jokic, Durant, and Karl Anthony Towns. So, again, that's where I talk about Zach LaVine truly having an elite skill. Like, the dude is a scorer from all parts of the field. One of 4 players last year to average 20 points, shooting 50% from the field, 40% from 3. And then let me scroll up to this. Let's see here. Where did DeMar DeRozan go? Here he is. DeMar DeRozan is projected to score 22.8 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4.7 assists. Pretty much almost exactly the same numbers that they gave Zach LaVine. His signature stat from last season. Last season, DeRozan made 293 mid-range shots. 119 more than any other player. He's led the NBA in mid-range field goals 3 of the past 4 seasons. So again, we know what DeMar DeRozan is. We know what he's trying to do. He does it differently than anybody else. And that's going to be the fascinating thing about this year is how different the offense looks without De'Aaron Fox there. Is it just going to be a lot of half court? Is it going to be really catering towards DeMar DeRozan in the mid-range, in the half court, backing guys down, taking that turnaround jumper? Is that going to be the thing that we see a ton of again this season? I think a lot of people, when it was going well, it was great. I think when De'Aaron Fox was here and it was, we can have De'Aaron go, and it's a nice little counterpunch. It was great. But I think once it became your thing, once it's the thing that you go to, and then you go to it again, and then you go to it again, and then if it works, you go to it again, and if it doesn't work, you go to it again. Like, I think at that point, it became very repetitive, and the misses started to feel a little bit louder, and it just started to feel like maybe nobody else is having fun on the floor besides the guy who's dribbling the ball out. And I hate to phrase it that way because it does make it sound selfish for DeMar DeRozan, or makes it sound like he's a bad teammate.
He's just in a weird position, I almost feel like. And correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I'm just diving into the Kings culture here, but Monty McNair drafted him, correct?
No. Oh, so Monty McNair brought him in. Yes,
right?
Brought him in.
Sorry,
yes,
not drafted him,
yes,
but brought him in. So again, I don't know how different this is from the NFL when a general manager brings someone in, compared to drafting them. But it is still technically their move.
Yes.
Like they made the move, and it's sometimes I feel like in this situation the last 3 years, there's been a lot of just like different guys bringing different guys in.
Yes.
And it's like who really feels like this is their home right now? Or what if this could be their home for the future? And even with Scott Perry now being here, you've got all these different pieces, and we've talked about the shoot first guards and everything. It's almost like he's going to throw them out here this season and say, who's going to fight for the future spot on roster? Like, because there's so many of the similar things, but then there's spots in the roster that are completely, there's no depth. But it's an interesting situation coming in and learning about the Kings and knowing there are different parts from different people that are here.
No, 100%.
If you get what I'm saying.
No, 100%, and you're definitely right. Like there is a big part of whose guy is this a Monty guy? Is this because even when and I think that's been the nice thing about Scott Perry and Doug Christie, they seem to at least be in lockstep. They seem to understand. We are pulling on the same string. We have a similar vision. Or at least if Scott Perry's going to bring a guy in, Doug has an understanding of what the understanding is. And it felt like for a while there, it was a Mike Brown, again, preaching defense. And then Monty McNair saying, we just need to get like tall guys out there. You guys will figure out the defense. We really just need to be great on offense and then figure it out on the defensive end. So to that point, there was a lot of push and pull, specifically with DeRozan. My understanding, and I think we talked about it a little bit on Monday, but a lot of people were surprised DeMar DeRozan's even still here. Like everybody expected DeMar DeRozan to be traded at just this offseason. You know, it's just like, hey, everything went to crap. Like you signed up here. Monty McNair brought you over here. Nothing that you signed up for is still here. So naturally, you probably want to go. You're 36 years old, 17th season. It just made all the sense for him to want to leave, for him to stay. It's that push and pull is going to be interesting to see. You're a Monty guy. You were brought in with a different vision. How is this going to work now that we have this new vision that we're trying to bring in? We can talk about that all day. So much to go over when it comes to Kings. We have one more name of a King that is on the list. It is the biggest name. It is the man that you know, you love. It is one, Domantas Sabonis. We tell you where he is on this ESPN Top 100 list. Coming up next, Alan Stiles Show, Sactown Sports. Welcome, man. Welcome back. Sactown Sports, 1140. Listen to Alan Stiles Show. No Alan Stiles for the remainder of the week. Chris Watkins, Kayla Anderson, Carl Ledbetter on the other side of the glass. Let's get into the rest of this top 100 list that ESPN put together. And let's specifically get into one big man, the Domantas Sabonis. Let's see here.
We have the meat.
Yeah, well, we used to. We really don't anymore.
Because
wasn't that with the Valanciunas situation?
Yeah, the the Beef Brothers.
Were they really called the Beef Brothers?
No, we were trying to.
You guys, I was like, oh my god.
We were trying to come up with nicknames. I think the best one that stuck was the Lithuanian Lumber.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Okay. Yeah.
But it's just.
We have the meat.
It's just.
I wanted to call them the Meat Brothers. That was vetoed.
Dude, that is hilarious.
That's it's a little touchy there. A little touch and go.
We have the meat.
That's kind of crazy.
Now I want Arby's.
I'm
Sorry.
Never partaken.
Off topic.
I've never partaken in an Arby's
By the way,
sandwich.
just random side note. Anytime I see him or hear him, because he does like voice acting.
You're talking about the voice actor specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
It's whatever. Vin Rames, the guy from Mission Impossible.
Sure.
Anytime I hear his voice now, I just laugh because it's just the guy from the Arby's commercials.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so the Kings no longer have the meats. They have since cashed that in for a Saric and a Eubank and Maxime Reynaud, who is we'll see how he looks come media day, but
not quite beefy.
Yeah, I was gonna say wouldn't necessarily be.
Isn't that Allen's guy?
Yeah.
Allen's got a lot of guys.
Okay,
Allen-
I heard you guys talk a lot about him interviewing him. So.
He's very excited to interview Maxime right now.
Okay.
Can I ask why? Sorry, I have to ask why.
Please.
I'm sorry we're going on
I'm
topic,
curious
but
why.
I keep on hearing
I'm
that he
very
wants-
curious why.
Yeah, Kayla was definitely listening to the show. Anyways,
See?
The crux is when they got to day 2 of the draft, he was like, "Well, this is my guy.
Okay.
This guy should have gone in the first round, and here he is." And then they took, which in fairness, he had like 4 of those.
Yeah, that's
guys.
what I was gonna say. I'm like,
But Maxime was the guy.
All right.
Apparently.
So we'll see how
Just
this
because he
goes.
wanted them to draft him in the second round.
Sure.
Okay.
Because some scout said he was going to be a first-round prospect.
I'll admit I've had these moments, okay?
Crossed his timeline. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But Kayla, this is the hilarious thing though about Allen is that whenever
Amongst
he has
many hilarious things.
whenever he has a guy,
Okay.
Tejan Salon.
it's not just a bust. It's like the biggest bust you can
Oh,
imagine.
so this is the thing. It doesn't
Yes.
end up actually doing anything.
Yeah, it's really only 2.
It's actually a curse.
Oh.
It's actually a curse.
One of them, the hilarious one, is Tejan Salon. He would that was his guy, and the Hornets took him before the Kings could get him. But he was like,
He threw like a full-blown fit in public.
Huge Shedeur Sanders guy.
Let's not forget Spencer Rattler too.
Spencer Rattler,
He's a big Spencer Rattler.
big Spencer
guy.
Rattler guy. Yeah, he was like Spencer Rattler is gonna win.
All
in the
I
NFL.
need to know. Y'all just explained it
He's
to
just
me.
like all-time bad calls.
Yeah, like it's not just that they're not good; it's that they're like all-time worst picks.
They're like absolutely unplayable.
Alan, in all respect, and I hope I get to meet Alan, should not be a GM.
No. But
the other running joke is that he watches 4 minutes of YouTube highlights and he's all in on a guy.
It's definitely a joke, that's for sure.
We all got our nuances.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah, Max. I remember Adem Bona was another one of his guys, UCLA center. I feel like I heard from him the other day, but I don't know what he's doing.
He was really into that.
Philly.
What's the guy who's at North Dakota State? He went to Alabama. I can't remember his name now, but he's on like Brooklyn's G League team. And he was like, "How is this guy not getting drafted?" And then he went undrafted.
So he didn't predict Sabonis becoming somewhat of a decent player. Is that where we're?
No, as a matter of fact, if I had to guess, Sabonis is completely the opposite of the kind of guy that Allen would like. Not a lot of flash, not a lot of flair. He'd probably say that Sabonis tries too hard or like works too hard or something. I don't know. But nonetheless, Alan Style Show again. Alan will be back on Monday to defend himself and to interview all of the Sacramento Kings come media day. One of the players that he will be interviewing is Domantas Sabonis, who falls at number 34. I laugh because as we talk about Allen, number 35 on this list is De'Aaron Fox, who Allen, it's just, I don't even know what to call their ongoing saga between Allen and De'Aaron Fox. But Allen, Allen went to the deep end with the Kings fans who wanted De'Aaron Fox out of town. And so Domantas Sabonis falls in front of De'Aaron Fox at number 34. It'd be very interesting to hear what Kings fans think about that. Again, this is a projection for the end of the season, so maybe this is hey, De'Aaron Fox now has to deal with Victor Wembanyama. Domantas Sabonis obviously has clear runway to be the Kings' number 1 guy. Very interesting sandwich here that Sabonis finds himself in. I'll even like kind of list just the square of guys around him.
Yeah.
36, Ivica Zubac, a name that is definitely risen up the ranks. I'd be curious to know where he was last year. He might have not even been ranked in last year's list, and for him to jump all the way up to 36 is absolutely incredible for him. He was unranked last year, I'm being told. So unranked for Ivica Zubac last year, that's got to be the highest leap, all the way up to 36. He had an incredible season last year. I'd be curious, we can do the exercise after, how many centers are in front of one Domantas Sabonis, as that's always the ongoing raging conversation. I see Alperen Sengun.
Chet Holmgren above him? And I don't even know that being a Zag
I would
person
guess
from
so.
Spokane.
I would guess that they have Holmgren above him, especially after winning the title last year.
I think that's what it comes more from compared to just stats, though.
Chet is 24.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't see Chet listed, but yes, that yes, Chet number 24. So there you go. There.
So doing the quick glance of big men in air quotes, I think Sabonis is going to come in like 9th.
Oh,
in terms of big men, forwards, and just like Karl Anthony Towns is being considered a big man in this instead of just a center, right?
Behind him, Jaren Jackson 31, Karl Towns 27, Alperen Şengün 25, Chet Holmgren 24, Pascal Siakam 22, Bam Adebayo 21. Wow, an audible laugh from Chris Watkins there.
That's crazy.
Well, Tyler Hero out. It's going to be the Bam show.
Yeah, right.
Bam and Norman
They're going to
Powell.
try to. I've seen that show before.
Anyways, 14, Anthony Davis. 13, Evan Mobley.
It's not including top 10, Jokic, Wemby, potentially.
Giannis.
Is Joel Embiid on this list?
No, definitely not.
He's not on the list?
No.
He's not on the list?
He's not going to make the list. He might not even play this year.
Was he included in that list of people that they excluded? I don't think he was, right?
Injuries?
He was not, I believe.
Wow, so he just flat out didn't make the list.
Yeah, so the bigs in the top 10 will be Jokic, Giannis, and Wemby.
Okay.
Wow.
So if
you threw Siakam in there as well for the big men list?
Yeah. Okay. So if my math is correct, he comes in 10th, 9th if you don't count Siakam.
Wow. And that is a fall for sure. I mean, we were pretty routinely having conversations, Domantas Sabonis being the third best center, I guess you could say, in the NBA, firmly behind Jokic and Embiid. Bam Adebayo would be on his tails. Victor Wembanyama, too young to have that conversation at the time. Karl Anthony Towns, I guess, is the one that really kind of firmly gets lifted up after the season he had last year. Was absolutely incredible from a numbers perspective. Obviously, the Knicks have some team success as well. Chet Holmgren, do you want to call him a center? That falls into Kyle's beautiful tall man, big man conversation. Chet Holmgren, definitely not your traditional center. He plays the forward next to Isaiah Hartenstein, so I don't know if you would really consider
what's his
him
long-term durability, too?
That's my
question with Chet.
If he's going to look like how he
I'm
looks,
telling you.
like Giannis.
Here's
filled
some crumble cookies. We've got 2 boxes for you, Chet.
Give that
Here
to
you
Chet
go.
Holmgren. The videos of Chet Holmgren working out over summer are always hilarious. It's like the equivalent of like JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard shooting corner threes. It's like, we're never going to see this. Like, what are we doing here? These guys taking corner threes. Like, what are we doing with Chet Holmgren benching 45 pounds? Like, I don't know what we're doing here. But yes, let's wrap up the Domantas Sabonis portion of this. Again, sandwiched in between Zubac at 36, De'Aaron 35, Sabonis 34. Interesting, John Morant, number 33, Franz Wagner, 32, Jaren Jackson Jr., number 31. The Sabonis write-up from Anthony Slater goes, Sabonis' raw per-game production through the past half-decade puts him among the game's elite names. He has finished third, second, first, and first in the NBA in rebounds the past 4 seasons. Among centers in 24-25, his 423 assists were behind only Jokic. Sabonis has averaged at least 18.5 points in the past 6 seasons. That's incredible for a guy who would not consider himself a scorer at all, doesn't really shoot threes with the exception of last season. 18.5 points per game over the past 6 seasons is incredible average, and I believe that's a total average. That's not a every single season thing. He's had a small uptick in three-point volume last season. He made 41% of his 2.2 attempts per game, but he doesn't protect the rim in a fearsome way and has generally needed the ball to be effective while on a Kings team with other ball-dominant players. That strange mix has kept the team out of the playoffs for 2 straight seasons. I think that's a very fair write-up from Anthony Slater, who has definitely been boots on the ground. That guy actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to the Kings. He has seen many, many, many Kings games. He's seen Sabonis play in playoff series in all of the biggest games, and so I definitely take Anthony Slater's word for all of that in terms of the placement of Domantas Sabonis and really where he is viewed across the entirety of the NBA. Of course, here, us in Sacramento, appreciate watching him bust his behind every single night. That's definitely been the thing that shines the most about Domantas Sabonis' game. Obviously, his insane double-double streaks that he routinely goes on. Again, just showing that every single night the guy shows up. But the problem becomes, as is the man listed, it's kind of his boogeyman. I'm sure he's sick and tired of hearing about Nikola Jokic because it almost prevents you from taking your praise of Domantas Sabonis to a certain level. If there is no Nikola Jokic in the NBA, we probably talk about Sabonis' game in a completely different light because it is so much different than the way anybody else plays. But because Jokic is in the league and does it at a level that is just head and shoulders, frankly, and again, that's more of a compliment to Jokic than anything to Domantas Sabonis. But the way Nikola Jokic plays is just on a different level. Like, it's okay to say, I have no problem with it. I don't think Domantas Sabonis has any problem acknowledging the fact either that Nikola Jokic is just different. And I think that's been a really tough thing for Sabonis' career, of course, along with the lack of playoff success. That, to me, is the one thing that completely flips the narrative on Domantas Sabonis. If the Kings can have some form or fashion of a playoff run or show out in the playoffs and Domantas Sabonis can be big in that series, that's where we can start to change the narrative, because absolutely people still have it stuck in their minds that Kevon Looney absolutely dominated Domantas Sabonis in that playoff series. So there you go. There you have it. And I see AA Ron on the chat saying Ja Morant over De'Aaron Fox. That's crazy. That is definitely an interesting.
You got to be on the court this season. That's for sure.
It's a good point.
Got to be on the court.
A really good point. Yeah, we have to see a lot from Ja Morant in order for me to believe that he is going to be firmly higher than De'Aaron Fox. Of course, we all know here in Sacramento that used to be quite the conversation. De'Aaron versus Ja. Coming up next, we wrapped a bow on this ESPN Top 100 list. We're going to tell you how the Kings are slated right now to be the Rockets' savior. What are they talking about? Bleacher Report has an article. We get into it coming up next right here. Alan Styles Show, Sactown Sports.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on